How's it everybody? Rendog here with another episode from the HermitCraft server this week, and I gotta be honest, I'm mildly surprised that I'm able to be standing here talking to you on top of this here tree right now. I didn't think I had enough juice left in me for another video this week after the last episode. For those of you guys who watched the previous episode, you'll know it was a bit of a tough one to get through for both of us. And I thought after that one I might take a few days off and just relax a bit. However, I'm feeling very good today, I gotta say, man. You know what? It's a beautiful day in England today. The sun is out, the skies are blue. And not only that, it is a very exciting day for me in real life because today is the day that I get the keys to my new house from the estate agents. I'm gonna have to go into town in about an hour or so to collect the keys and then go to the property and take inventory. Before I can finally move in to the place on the 1st of June. So a very, very awesome milestone for me because this is kind of the end of a battle in my mind that has been going on in my life for the last couple of months, and this is a moment of great positivity where we get to start new, right? We get to start a whole brand new chapter in a whole brand new house. Well, it's not a brand new house, it's an old house, but I'm renting the house and it's a new chapter. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down over here, right? But I did think that I might be able to get a little bit of work done with you guys out here at the boat race before I do that. I'll do a bit of recording this morning, and when I get back from the house later on today, I will try finish off the video, see if I can get it out for you guys today. Like I said, I'm going to be heading over to the new house to check it out, make sure that the previous tenants left it in a good condition, and going to be taking inventory on it also. So that we can, so that when I move out one day, I can't be blamed for anything that might be broken right now. Anyway, that's all like super boring adult stuff. Guys, let's talk a little bit about Minecraft, shall we? Last episode was very talky. I didn't really discuss what I was doing, but of course, for those of you guys who have been following my boat race project with Etho, I did a bit of work out here at the boat race, and this is one of the newest sections of the boat race that I've added. And essentially what this thing is kind of like a splitter. So we have all the races coming down this here track, and then they've got to make a choice to go left or right. And if they go right, there's a little shortcut that they might be able to take through there. It's very tight though, so if they crash, they're going to lose a lot of time. Or they can take the safer routes through the middle to get a nice apex into this bend over here. So last episode, I was just terraforming all of this. And today, before the end of the day, when I get back from the house, I'm going to come and maybe do some more work out here. I want to get some trees planted on top of all of this. I've just been to our tree farm to collect a bunch of bone meal and spruce saplings from the GIGACORP, so I want to come and get all of this treed up. I also want to plant a few forests out here along this line so that when we are racing down this track from this position here, we'll see some more trees. It won't be so flat out here, right? We'll get a couple more trees and whatnot going. So, a bit of work to do out here. However, this morning, there is another part of the track that I'd like to work with you guys on first, and that is this section over here, which is a section of track that I think I might have worked on the last time I live streamed on Twitch. And, well, as you can see, it is an area that needs to be completely iced over. This is going to be the starting line of our race course, and well, at the moment, it's looking horrendous, isn't it? There's no ways we can race on this. So first thing that we need to do is fill all of this with ice. Ah yes, it's been a couple of weeks since I played Minecraft, guys, a little bit rusty. Forgot about the fact that you actually have to sleep in this game, and well, BOO isn't online right now, so just went and did some manual sleeping over there at that race course area. Like I was saying, we need to do some icification at the very beginning of the racetrack, and I believe one of the last things I did before I took a bit of a break was collect a bunch of packed ice. Yes, indeed, I went and chopped down a bunch of giant icebergs, and yeah, it looks like I managed to get an absolute insane amount of packed ice here, which is great. Oh, and Azumavoid donated a bunch of packed ice to the project also, I believe. It's all starting to come back to me now, guys. You know, when you take a bit of time away from the HermitCraft server, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to re-assimilate your brain hole to get back to where you were before. But yeah, let's set up a little workstation over here with all of the ice. And this should be a pretty simple task, I think. Just scrambling down a bunch of packed ice into this area. Etho's going to be working on the return section of the track, which is this bit here. And I'm not sure exactly what his plan is here. So I think we'll make a boundary for our packed ice and we'll just fill in everything from here to there with packed ice. And yeah, we'll take it from there, I suppose. Not exactly the most mind-bending of tasks here, guys, but it's kind of an important thing for me to do to make today's episode. You know, this is, again, probably going to be much more of a talky episode than a progression episode, but just me sitting in front of this computer, making this video and hanging out with you guys is a huge step for me. It really is important that I do this, and maybe I'll do this for the next few weeks or so, just try and make 3 or 4 episodes a week like this, and that'll really get my brain and my mind back into YouTube, back into HermitCraft, and back where it belongs, back where it's at its happiest. And I suppose while I'm doing this, guys, I do want to thank every single one of you who watched the last episode and just left an incredible amount of love and support in the previous episode. Guys, thank you so very, very much. I appreciate all of your kind words, and thank you to everybody who shared your own similar stories of loss and trauma and grief. I found it very cathartic to know that, you know, there's a lot of you guys out there experiencing the same thing as me. And, you know, like I mentioned in the previous episode, we're all going through something in our lives. And it's sometimes very comforting to know that we're all going through something together. And we can all help each other get through it. You know what's crazy, guys? Making this video today feels so much easier to do than the previous episode. And if I go back 2 weeks from right now, the thought of producing videos was basically an impossibility for my brain, and I'm just so very pleased that I've got to this point where I can actually record a video like this. And I was thinking about this morning, and then I got a message from DocM77, and it all started to make a lot of sense to me. He sent me a message on Discord that said something like this: Ren, I'm so proud of you for making that video. You have broken the paralysis, and this is a really good step for you to getting back on track. And you know what? Doc was 100% right. I was completely paralyzed by all of the things that were going on in my life, and making that previous episode helped to unthaw me. You know, it almost felt like I was Theron from Lord of the Rings. I was sort of frozen by metaphorical worm tongue, which I suppose we could call trauma. And just by producing that last episode, even if it was just me rambling for 40 minutes, that helped to break that paralysis and helped to, I guess, restart my brain in some way. And even though I'm nowhere near 100%, I am very determined to continue doing this, to continue making videos like this for you guys. And you know what? I think what I might do for the next few weeks or so is just try and produce a video every 2 days or so. And it might only take me a couple of hours to make the videos, as opposed to usually it takes me maybe 2 or 3 days to make a video. But I think just to get my train rolling down the track, so to speak, I think I'm just going to make some videos old school style for you guys, you know, where we come together and we just try and make 2 or 3 hours of progress every episode, and also just sort of hang out and talk about real life for a bit. And I think more than anything, it's going to be an important thing for me to do. I think probably the next 5 to 10 episodes of my HermitCraft series are going to, and don't take this the wrong way, guys, but I think they're going to be more for me than for you guys. And I hope that's okay. I'm just going to, you know, work to get myself back into content production mode, and to, you know, remind myself of how much I love doing this with you guys. And yeah, I think that is something that I could probably get myself to do. You know what? That also feels like quite a sensible and achievable goal, especially considering over the next 2 weeks or so, I have to move an entire house from one house into another house, and then get that new house set up for my business and deal with all of that stuff. So, you know what? That sounds like a plan and a very realistic goal. And yeah, I'm going to do my best to get it done, guys. Oh, by the way, speaking of Doc M77, and before I forget, I just want to say a very special thank you to all of my fellow hermits who tried to contact me over the last few weeks or so. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, last month I kind of disconnected from everything, and I basically didn't reply to anybody, but a ton of my fellow hermits continued to try and contact me and to let me know that they were thinking about me and sending me love and sending me support, even if I didn't reply. And to my fellow hermits that got, you know, had my back and were sending me love and support and whatnot, guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys more than words will ever describe. I'm greatly honored to be in this great group with all of these great humans. And I also want to send out a very special bit of love to Skizzleman, who also touched base with me and sent me a message and asking if I was okay and offering a hand of support and whatnot. And to all of you guys who did that, thank you very, very much. And I do apologize for not getting back to you and not replying to you and basically ghosting everybody. But like I say, I was disconnected for the last few weeks. So this week when I got back online, I saw all of these messages from all of these hermits and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been ignoring everybody. I feel so awful. But I've been getting back to everybody now and starting to feel a little bit better. And certainly all of those words of support from my fellow hermits and from the amazing Skizzleman, they really helped me, get back to a better place mentally. So thank you very, very much, fellow hermits, Skiz, and of course to everybody in my amazing community who were also constantly checking in and making sure that I was okay. So big love, everybody. The community of the HermitCraft universe is just amazing. Aha! Progress! Now there is a familiar and very comforting feeling, everybody. I settled in for the last couple of hours this morning to do as much as possible here at the start of the race, and I have accomplished a lot more than I thought I would. It's quite amazing how much you can do in Minecraft when you just put some music on and just play, right? It's been about an hour or so since I last recorded, and since then I have managed to pretty much finish everything that I wanted to do today. I got all of the ice down on the track over here, and I even managed to add some more work to this section of the race, including the red and white barriers along the side of the tunnel section here. Let's just get rid of this snow. We've just had a snowstorm, so it's kind of covered everything in snow, but let's just clean this up, get it nice and pristine. There we go. I did make some adjustments to the tunnel itself because as I extended the length of it, having like 3 pillars per section here was getting a little bit distracting as you race down the tunnel, and I decided to widen it up a little bit. And I think it's actually a little bit better this way because if we considered, 4 to 8 people racing at the same time, we want a lot of space inside of this tunnel for the races to sort of dodge and weave. And with all of those pillars in here that I had in the previous design, it would have been very difficult for people to overtake in here. A lot of people would probably end up going face first into the pillars. That's no fun, right? We want to make sure that racers have as fun a time as possible on this course, and I think the widening of the track like this feels good, man. Added the barriers to the sides also on both sides of the track. So now we've got red and white all the way through, and I don't know if I have a boat back here, but maybe we can do a little full immersion feel for this tunnel. No, where's my boat gone? All right, boat acquired. Tell you what, guys, why don't we go on a full immersion tour of the race course as it stands right now? And then I got to rush off. I only have a few more minutes to record this morning because I need to go and collect my keys for the new house. Super excited. But first things first, guys, let's experience the boat race together as it stands right now. We'll go full immersion mode. And as you can see with this widened tunnel like this, I think it feels a lot better to race down there. That feels pretty awesome. We're going to come into the first major big bend. This is where 8 racers are going to be bumping into each other and trying to scoot past each other. Into the first chicane. Let's see if we can take the shortcut that we built. Yep, there we go. Shortcut taken, although not quite very good taken. It's fine. We're going to come into this shortcut area here and then into the bobbing and weaving of this section. And this is going to take us into the next part of the race course that we're going to be working on today. And let me see if I can take the shortcut here. Going to take my foot off the accelerator to get in here. And there we go. Nice. We took the shortcut quite efficiently there. And that's about as far as we have gotten in our section of the race course. But I am very pleased with the progress that we've made out here, especially over the last week or so. Yeah, actually achieved a lot more than I thought I would, and very pleased with that. However, I need to go get the keys for my new place now, guys, but when we get back, I would like to start working for the last part of this episode on getting some trees up on these islands here. I just want to get this whole section completed today if we can. And I need a kind of cool name for this area here. Is it the fork or the funnel? I think maybe it's called the funnel or the filter or something. You know, we're filtering players into different channels over here. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, sorry, dudes. I'm kind of rushing through this section of the video. I need to go get the keys for my new house. Guys, I'll speak to you in a couple of hours. That's right, guys. Ah, that's the sound of the keys to our new house. Oh man. Wow. I never thought I'd be this happy to jingle jangle keys in front of a microphone, but this is a very joyous moment for me today, guys. This is a big step forward in a very, very bright future for us here on the Rendog channel. You know, these keys, this is a confirmation that rather large stress upon my shoulders of finding a new place in just a matter of weeks. It's done. We did it. I got the keys now. There's no going back. I've signed the papers. Legally, I'm set for another year, and nobody can stop me. Oh man, awesome. Anyway, so I'm back from the estate agents, guys, and I'm in a great mood. I want to do a couple more hours of progress out here on the race course, I think, and while I'm doing that, I just want to talk to you guys about what happened today, mostly for my own good. I did mention earlier this morning, I think, that the next few episodes are going to be for me, more than they are going to be for you. Sorry about that, guys, but I would like to document what happened today just for my own, I don't know, historical records, so that, you know, in 5 years' time when I listen back to this period of my life, I can be like, oh yeah, I remember that day when I went to and got the keys from the estate agents. That was a great day. So anyway, I'm going to do a bit of work out here on this section of the race course that we worked on last episode. Just going to plant some forests and do some terraforming and try get this place looking really, really nice, so that by the end of this episode, we would have done some great progress at the start of the race, and we would have hopefully completed this little section of the race course here. And I'm just trying to make it a bit more interesting and more exciting for the racers as they come around these bends, so that it's not just so flat and so white everywhere, right? We've got some trees and forests popping up all over the show. So yeah, guys, what an absolutely incredible sense of relief I'm feeling right now. I have probably been stupidly concerned up until this point that until I have these keys in my hand like I do now, something can still go wrong, right? The landlord could decide to not rent the house anymore, or something could go wrong with the paperwork, or, you know, any number of these sort of hypothetical situations have been running through my mind, and it's, you know, it's a massive relief to know all of that is now out of the window. Got the keys, we're in, nothing to worry about. But I must say, it was quite an interesting afternoon that I had. So yeah, I headed off into town to get the keys from the estate agents today, guys, and I had a very specific plan for this entire operation. I'm a person that likes to plan things out quite well. I do so with my videos, and I do so with things that happen in my life, and I like to follow a plan quite rigidly, and when the plan goes a little bit wrong, it sometimes, you know, throws me for a loop every now and then. And unfortunately, today's plan to visit the estate agents didn't go quite as smoothly as I would have liked. The plan was very, very simple, okay? I was going to go into the office with a couple of bottles of wine and a hamper of nice foods and stuff to give to them, because honestly, they really went the extra mile to find me this place. You know, I explained to them my situation, and they understood the urgency of it and everything, and they really pulled out all the stops to make sure that I would get a house, and that I would be safe, and that everything would be okay. And I really wanted to thank them. So my plan was to, you know, put on some nice clothes. I was looking good. I got some wine and some foods and whatnot for them. I was going to go in there, you know, like a night of thankfulness, and hand out the gifts and thank them for their incredible work, get the keys, and swoop out of there on a cloud of relief and joy. That was the plan. Fortunately, it didn't quite turn out that way. You see, I live in a small little town here in England, and generally speaking, parking in these small towns is a problem. For any of you guys who might live in small British towns, you'll know that you kind of need to leave 10 minutes a little bit earlier than your rendezvous time so that you can find somewhere to park. And well, you know, I kind of forgot about that. And yep, when I arrived at the office that I'd never been to before, you know, I just followed the sat-nav to get there. There was no parking anywhere, and I eventually had to end up parking about a 10-minute walk away from their office. And thus, this resulted in me having to carry these gifts that I was going to give to them. There were 3 or 4 bottles of wine and a hamper of food all the way through town. The sun was blazing. I'm in a suit jacket, you know. starting to sweat, a little bit stressed. So by the time I got to got to their office, I was, a bit of a mess, sweat pouring down my face, hair all a ruffle, slightly out of breath, carrying all of these gifts. And as I walked in, I think everybody in the office was a little bit surprised. I think they thought I might have been a delivery person or something, coming from Amazon or something, But then they quickly recognized who I was, and they were happy to see me and whatnot. And as I was about to start handing out the gifts to the 3 people that helped me at this agency, another person walked in and one of the telephones began to ring. And so I didn't have the attention of the room at all. And I was just standing there awkwardly with all of these gifts. And, of course, life continues for the estate agents, right? They got work to do. They don't have time to just sit there and listen to Rendog ramble on about how thankful he is. They got stuff to do. So that was sort of me narcissistically assuming that I could just swoop in there like a knight of joy and take control of the whole situation. But anyway, didn't quite turn out that way. So I awkwardly put the gifts down and just very briefly explained, hey guys, this is for you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. Here's just something to show how grateful I am. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. And it was very well received. And we then sat down and did the last bit of paperwork. And then it came the moment for me to receive the keys to the house. And, my current house keys, and I don't know how it is for you guys, but on my current set of house keys, I've got a front door key, a back door key, a garage key, and my car key. That's it. I've got 4 keys on my key ring. The new house has about, I don't know, let me try figure this out. There's about 15 keys on this jangling set of keys here, guys. I have never seen so many keys for a house in my entire life. And bear in mind, the house that I'm moving into is smaller than the house that I currently live in. And the estate agent, went into the drawer and picked out the keys and plonked them onto the table with like a bash, And I was like, oh my goodness, are you sure these are the keys to the right place and not the keys to a castle or something? What's going on here? And she assured me, no, these are the keys for the house. Turns out the house is about 25 or 30 years old, and all the cupboards have keys. Every window has a key sort of thing. The upstairs windows share a key, and the downstairs windows share a key, and the kitchen windows have a key. And then the garage has like 2 or 3 keys, and there's like a safe that has a key. There's like a lot of keys going on in this house, mostly for like cupboards and things like that. So, at some point I need to go through all of these keys and maybe try label them or something. Anyway, so she plonked the keys down on the table, and I was so very happy. And the first thing that I did, of course, was just went straight to the house. And before I talk about that, yeah, there was another thing that she plonked down also, which is the inventory of the house. And went a little something like this, plonk. And basically it was, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 page inventory. And what an inventory is, for those of you guys who maybe haven't rented a house before, it's basically you go through every single room in the house and you register all the different things. So, if you're in the TV room, you register the state of the carpets, the state of the walls, if there's any damage, and so on. So that when you leave the house eventually, the landlord can see if you've done any damage compared to when you first moved in. You're basically taking a carbon copy of the house as it is when you move in, to protect yourself and the landlord when you move out, if that makes any sense. But because of all these cupboards and everything all over the house, this inventory is particularly large, and a very thorough inventory indeed. And it's going to probably take me half a morning to go through the inventory, because we've got to go through every single room. You have to test every single plug. You have to open every single cupboard. You have to check every wall, every roof. Guys, it's extremely adult and extremely boring. And which is why most adults will tell you that moving house is one of the worst and most stressful things that you can do in life. It is absolutely horrible. There's so many boring things that you have to do, but they're very important. You got to get them done. And so maybe inventory will be a problem for tomorrow's Rendog. I'll maybe tell you about it in the next episode, maybe. So yeah, I just went to the house, went in, and it was just such a sense of wonderful relief and happiness that this is, you know, the new place that I'm going to spend the next few years. And I immediately felt a great sense of urgency and excitement. And, you know, immediately I started to think about, man, when can we start streaming again? What's that going to look like? How are we going to set up the office? You know, what are we going to do here? Like, where's the internet going to go? You know, how long until we can start making videos from this place? I suddenly went into this full-on content creator mode, which I haven't really felt for a while, this last month or so. But it all sort of came rushing back to me. And it kind of reminded me also of, you know, how incredibly lucky I am to have even been in that position, to be able to do that, to be able to have found a place so quickly and within a couple of weeks hopefully be set up to continue producing videos and so on YouTube. And you know, I just want to take this moment, guys, to thank you and to thank all of you who watch, and especially those of you guys who support me on Patreon and on Twitch. You know, guys, it's the reality is that without your guys' support, I wouldn't be able to afford to have done all of this so quickly. And you're not only helping me get through a particularly difficult period of my life this year, but you're also enabling me to continue my work as a content producer. And it just would be impossible without you guys. So I want to say a very, very big thank you. And I really appreciate the support so very much. And, you know, I can only say so many words to say thank you. And the best way for me to say thank you to you guys is to get back at what I do best, which is producing these videos for you guys. And I appreciate your support very, very much. Thank you, everybody. Anyway, so yeah, went to the house. It's looking fantastic. Unfortunately, a couple of issues that I need to sort out in the next couple of weeks. Issue number one, no fridge. And I don't actually own a fridge here. This is in the current house that I live. This fridge was here when I got here, so I won't be able to take it with me. So problem number one, I got to get a new fridge. That's a problem for another day, I think. I'm not going to worry too much about that now. I mean, getting a fridge isn't the greatest problem. Problem number two, however, is going to be a little bit of a harder one to tackle. There's like a little front area in front of the house that's got a very small bit of lawn and a little flower bed that is actually on the walkway of the neighborhood. And at the moment, it is just in a complete state of disarray. It's completely weeded over. The grass is really tall. It kind of looks like one of those, like, you know, when you were a kid, people tell you stories about that weird old man that lives in a house and the garden's all grown over and there's, you know, and he's like a creepy old man that lives all on his own and he's been there he's 120. And any kid that goes into the house gets eaten alive, you know. It's kind of got that sort of vibe going on right now because everything's really overgrown. So I'm probably going to have to go and do some gardening this week. I'm just going to have to go yoink out all the weeds, try and get the lawn looking good, you know, get the flower beds sorted out. Because at the moment, the neighbors are probably wondering who the heck is living there, or who, you know, what weird man is moving into this house and why is the garden looking so terrible. So yeah, there's another, at the back of the house is also a small little lawn with a little garden area around it, some flower beds and whatnot, and they're completely weeded over too. So that's probably going to be like a full day of work. Again, some very adulting work, yoinking weeds out and planting stuff and whatever. So I won't bore you too much with that, but yeah. I'm hoping for some nice sunny days in England over the next couple of weeks so that I can go get all of that done and just make my neighbors aware that, hey, I'm just a normal person. Don't worry. There's not some weird maniac moving into this house who doesn't clean his gardens. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the house that the neighborhood looks down upon, you know? I just want to be a normal house, fit in with the neighborhood, and sort that garden out. So that's going to be that's on my mission cards for the next few days. As I say, that's a problem for another day for Rendog, and we'll tackle that in the next few weeks. But yeah, the house is looking great. Everything's looking good. Got to do the inventory. Got to sort out the garden. Got to get a fridge. And now the real hard work starts. Now we got to move my current house into that house. And yeah, that is certainly a problem for tomorrow's Rendog, but a problem that needs to get sorted probably pretty quickly, and actually starting to experience a little bit of a panic attack right now, guys. I do need to get on that. I need to find somebody to help me move and all of that. Yes, I should probably start dealing with that today. So maybe, okay, you know what? We're going to call it for today's episode, guys. We've done some great work out here, though. Look at this place, man. It's looking awesome. So we've got trees now and foliage planted on all the various islands of the filter. And I think it's looking great, man. It looks so much better now, right? Like as we go down the racetrack, we can see all the nice trees to the left and the right. And it almost makes it feel like you're going faster as the trees are going past you. And that's quite a cool effect, I think. And I'm very happy with this area. I think it's looking awesome. And very happy with the way that the start of the race looks too. So great progress today, guys, both here on HermitCraft and in real life. I'm feeling a lot better today. And thank you again, everybody, for everything. Thank you so much for all the love in the last episode and for all of your support across the board. Yeah, appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, guys, I need to go and sort out the moving part. I need to get this house moved to the new house. We'll talk about it next time, okay? Look after yourselves, and we'll see you in the next episode.